Hi, I've had a fab request from somebody whose handle is at Andrea F.6572 to ask how the elegant Regency fashions turned into the fussy and elaborate over-designed dresses of the 1830s. The 1830s had been a bridge between the end of the Georgian era and the start of the Victorian period. And the 1830s actually is one of my favourite styles. Here is the ladies' style of dress, and here is the lovely gentleman's fashion. And 10 years before, the 1820s, and the 1820s men's style. Here we have the lovely 10 years before that again, the 1810s, and the 1810s gentleman's fashion. So you can actually see that the ladies' fashion gets a bit fussier and over elaborate, and the gentleman's style gets sort of plainer and classier. In Britain, King George III was on the throne 1760 to 1820, and King William 1830 to 37. Between these times, George IV served as King Prince Regent when his father, George III, was mentally ill. The Regency period had come along with the Napoleon era after the French Revolution, when the styles had actually changed from the over-elaborate aristocratic style of clothing to the simpler, more Regency Empire line style of gowns, purposely seen as the complete opposite to the former class system. Neoclassical design was based on the ancient Greek and Roman fashions that came to Europe with the empire at the time. Although the revolution didn't do much for us ordinary people, its ideals had an impact on lots of different things, including art, culture, and literature. Following all that were the ages of Enlightenment and Romanticism, where the promotion of ideals were individualism, personal feeling, natural self-rights, religious tolerance, and emotions. The Romantics learned from books written by Jane Austen, and the Brontes with extreme sexuality and romantic ideas were written. And so the long, slender dresses of the Regency period saw a return to the stays that nipped in the waist, hemlines that showed more ankle and pretty dainty little ballet-style feet, the slim waistline accentuated by more underskirts, wide bateau necklines that showed off the shoulders, and melon sleeves or leg of mutton sleeves that were huge, sometimes needing a frame to help them stand out, while this accentuated shoulders and bosoms a little more. Hairstyles became tall and elaborate, called the Apollo knot, accentuating beauty. Everything came large, beautiful styles and exaggerating everything. But for the men in the 1830s, pantaloons and breeches changed to Cossack-style full trousers with an undershoe piece. The shirts were plain with high collars to accommodate gorgeous stock ties or the beautiful cravat. The plainer Newmarket tailcoat was designed, worn open. The collars were rounded and shortened to show off more underlayers. And these exposed beautifully patterned and highly coloured waistcoats. Waistcoats made of velvet, shot silks or cashmere were in bright patterns and colours. They were padded at the chest and tapered at the waist, showing off that ultimate romantic manly look. And the very tall, large top hats accentuated man height. But there was also a collapsible one called the gibus, which for the opera. And because of that very tall hairstyle, the Apollo knot, bonnets got bigger too to accommodate it. So you can see the development from the slim, slender, sort of rather plain Regency fashions. Why, with our romanticism and ideals, came the larger, fussier 1830s style that took us into the Victorian period. Thank you, Andrea F, for your very interesting request video on the Regency styles turning into the 1830 period. Do hope you've enjoyed another historical fashion story. If you have, don't forget to join me again for the next one. See you soon. Bye.